Hey guys, it's me, Lil Ninja, back in the video, and today, I am back on YouTube after my little break, but today I will be starting my YouTube back up with the first video of the week. So I hope you like this video, and what we're going to be talking about, there's a few things that I'm going to be changing about this series. Luffy is not only going to be having a twin brother, but also they won't be having the same fruits. I don't think that would be possible unless there was a fruit that could copy fruits. But I'm not going to go in that direction to make them basically exactly the same. You'll see how this version of Luffy's brother acts and basically how he progresses. This is basically a combined story for basically Luffy and his brother. It won't just be about Luffy, and sometimes Luffy will take action, but also his brother will take action as well. Meaning, not only one brother will shine, both of them will shine together as brothers of a pack. And without further ado, let's get into this video. It's Little Ninja time. We start off with a 5-year-old Luffy and Rufy hanging out with Shanks and his crew, and they are basically trying to get Shanks to allow them to become pirates. But of course, Shanks is saying that they're too young and they probably don't even know how to swim yet. They tell Shanks that they are learning how to swim and they are going to be great swimmers. They're also going to become the Pirate Kings, because they want to work together to become the best pirates and then become the Pirate Kings. Basically, they have the same dream and are ready to do anything to get that dream, even becoming the best pirates in the whole East Blue, South Blue, North Blue, and West Blue. So they are basically raring to go, trying everything they can to make Shanks decide that they can come along. Of course, Luffy would show that he's not scared of anything by stabbing himself, while Rufy would just call Luffy an idiot. He could have really seriously hurt himself. If you did not notice, Rufy is way more level-headed than Luffy is, and basically knows, he is smart, basically, and he knows not to do stupid things. While he will get into fights, he won't get into fights if there's basically no good intentions in those fights. Rufy would basically be the level-headed version of Luffy, but still would be raring to fight. A few minutes ago, Luffy and Rufy ingested 2 devil fruits, the Gum Gum fruit and the Ella Ella fruits. And while that would be happening, they felt a change that would have happened when they met Shanks. Luffy would have tried to run off and try to figure out what this feeling is, but Shanks would have grabbed Luffy's arm and it would have stretched. While Rufy would be on the ground, and fire, water, air, wind, all the elements would be just swirling around Rufy, with Rufy passing out, and then Luffy just looking at his arm like weird, doesn't know what's going on. So with that, we time skip to a few years later. For the time skip, I will be saying that Luffy and Rufy would have trained in the forest and basically lived off of the forest while with their fruits, so that way they would be able to learn how to use them the best that they could. Eventually meeting their 2 other brothers that, if you don't know who they are, then I'll not explain it inside of this what if, because I'll explain it when they actually come into the story. Basically, Luffy was able to get Gear 2nd early, and Rufy has his own version of Gear 2nd. Now, you basically know what Luffy's fruit is, but Luffy's fruit, but you don't know Rufy's fruit. Rufy has the fruit of the Ella Ella no Mi, basically a fruit that I made up that was supposed to be the polar opposite of the Gum Gum no Mi. It's also known as the sad fruit, while Luffy's fruit is known as Joy Boy. So with this, is Luffy and Rufy are basically make their fruits have opposites, and they're both basically embodiments of their fruits. And with that, they've trained with their fruits for a long time. And with that, Rufy made his own version of the Gear Second, with basically any element that he so chooses will swirl around him and make him get a power boost and basically a power boost and a speed boost. More of a speed boost than a power boost, though, just like it would be for Luffy. With that, Luffy and Rufy would have set off to go to a different spot of the East Blue and would try to find people to recruit, with both of them fighting over who will become captain. Then they decide that they will become co-captains, with Luffy being captain sometimes, and Rufy being co-captain sometimes. So yeah, they decided this while they were going off into the ocean. Luffy and Rufy would make their way towards boats, and they would see pirates. Their boats destroyed, Rufy and Luffy would have stowed away inside of barrels and taken a nap, both of them bursting out at a moment's notice, and would have knocked two people out, with the two people being pirates. And they would look over and see a boy. This boy's name would be Kobe, and both of them would be wondering where they are. Rufy would slap Luffy's head, saying they probably got put onto the ship. Rufy knew they shouldn't have stowed away inside of these things. Talking to Kobe, Rufy would have asked where they are and would have tried to figure out anything that they could possibly do to get off of this boat. Of course, the captain of the ship would have arrived, and it is none other than Alvida. I had to search up her name, but yeah, Alvida. I think that's how you pronounce it. Rufy and Luffy would be looking at her, saying that she looks fat, and she would completely get mad and start swinging her mace around. Luffy would ask Kobe for a boat, and Kobe would reply and show Luffy the nearest boat that they could use to escape, while Rufy would be battling it out with Alvera, whatever her name is. And he would basically be trying to say that he wasn't the one that said that. His brother is very, very stupid and very rude. She does not need to get mad at him for something his brother said. And she would say that it doesn't matter if your brother said that. You both look the same, so I'm just gonna take my anger out on you. Rufy would basically buy time for Luffy and Kobe to get on a boat, and Rufy would basically say bye and would jump out the boat with Luffy and Rufy. Of course, they would see another boat coming down after they would see Marines coming out of nowhere. A boat that is small just like theirs. Of course, they didn't have time to see who was in the boat, but Luffy did. A girl with orange hair. But after that, the girl would have blitzed off with her boat, with Luffy and Rufy running off to the nearest island with Kobe, because he decided to man up and go with them. Luffy would say they need to make a way to get a swordsman, and then they will get a navigator, then a sharpshooter, and maybe even a cook. Luffy would think maybe they should start writing these things down. Rufy would say we have a brain, we need to start using it. No, so yeah, Luffy and Rufy would just be arguing, and then they would see something peculiar. They would see a man tied up to a log with a headband, a green headband to be exact, and they would be trying to figure out what is going on. Luffy would walk over to the man and would ask, "Who is he?" Zoro would reply and state his name and would ask, "What is he doing here?" Of course, Luffy would ask him, do you want to be a part of my crew?" Rufy would just basically be mad at this, saying that this guy is on a log. He probably did something bad or something and got himself placed on there. Luffy would just ignore Rufy and would say, "Do you want to become a part of my crew?" Of course, Zero would say no and would ask Luffy to leave. Eventually, a girl would pop up and give Zoro some food, and the girl would get thrown out for feeding Zoro. Of course, they would find information about Zoro, the pirate's hunter, and would basically leave. Luffy and Rufy and Kobe would eventually find out that the people that placed him there were not planning to keep their promise, and Luffy would decide to try again to get Zoro on his team as his sword slinger. Not sword slinger. That sounds like that does not make sense. What is a sword slinger? Basically, his swordsman. Luffy and Rufy would this time agree on getting Zoro on their team and would go and explain to Zoro that they were not planning to actually allow Zoro to live. Luffy would find the three swords and would bring them to Zero, and Zero would break free. With Luffy, Rufy, and Zero finally having a three-man team for right now, with two captains and one swordsman. Luffy would be ready to take some Marines down, with Luffy taking out the big bad of the Marines and the Marines finally being free, with Kobe joining the Marines just like in canon. Rufy didn't really do anything here, so yeah. Zero, Rufy, and Luffy would be traveling on boats and would be ready to basically move away from the island that they were originally on, and they would find another island. What did I want to say here? I don't know exactly. Luffy, Rufy, and Zero would find a ship next to theirs, and they would realize it has been destroyed. Basically, what it looked from the small ship that used to be there was completely reduced into rubble and wood. Basically, that ship was basically a product of the buggy bomb. Luffy, Rufy, and Zero did not like this, and they would look at the cannonball that their ship got hit by. Rufy and Luffy were ready to take some peoples down. Luffy, Rufy, Zero would make their way towards Buggy's ship and would see a girl running from Buggy and his crew with a bunch of money. Luffy would stop Buggy by punching him with a gum pistol, while Rufy would use his elemental powers and would basically wash over Buggy with basically a tsunami of water. The powers of Rufy's fruit is basically controlling elements and being able to produce elements out of his hands, palms, and feet. With that, he can basically do almost anything with it. And there's a lot of things that he hasn't figured out about his fruit yet. So I can work with this a lot. With this, the tsunami that would have washed over Buggy would have been used to basically get him back to his boat. Rufy would go after Buggy and would just start wailing on him, while Luffy would take down Buggy's lackeys, and Zero would take down Buggy's swordmen. and Nami would just be watching this as it happened. Ruffy taking down Buggy would have basically shown his power, and Luffy would have taken down the lackeys. With this, Ruffy would send off Buggy into the sky, while Ruffy would steal Buggy's boat and would tell Nami, Zero, and Luffy to get on before someone catches them. Nami would finally join the group, but does not know if she wants to be a part of their pirate team or not. She does not know if she wants to be a part of their pirate team, or to just steal from them like she would any other pirates. She still doesn't know whether she is a part of the team. Next, they would find some of Zero's old partners. They would see, I forgot what their names are. Let me go check this again, because I'm forgetting people's names left and right. Glock 9 hit it like a light. Coop tenant like a thief in the night. Gang on him, he'd go put up a fight. Back to what I was saying, I gotta find out what his name is. Oh wait, that didn't happen now. I freaking mixed up the arcs. So what happens next is they find a different island, and they're basically trying to find their way to get more people on their crew. They would eventually find this island where a boy with a long nose would have been spotted by Luffy. Like in the canon, Usopp would have tried to basically lie, saying that he has 1,000 men here going to take them down. Nami would state that this is a very small island for 10,000 people to be on. They should probably get on this boat and get out of here. Usopp just realized that his bluff could have caused him to the life of everyone. But then Luffy would explain that they're just here for some supplies and trying to get a new person to join their crew. With that, Usopp would have invited them on the island, stating that he is the pirate of this island and protects it with his life. Of course, this would be another lie, since he basically doesn't have a real crew, just children following him around. They, basically everything towards here would go to canon, except for when Luffy, Ruffy, and the gang would be going to the lady's house. They would have known that she was sick, but there would be one problem. Usopp is basically lying way too much. He doesn't need to spout these many lies. Of course, the butler would have been, would have came and would have told everyone to leave. Luffy had not liked this, and Ruffy really would have not liked this. And Ruffy would basically have told this butler to square up, and did not feel like backing down. He just knew there was something off about this man's. But he didn't really have a reason to take this man's out yet, so he would decided to back down and leave the mansion. Usopp would have explained many things, and a few days later, they would have found out that the butler used to be a crazed pirate and is very powerful. So, basically, Ruffy has a reason to punch the lights out of that guy now. And Ruffy would do so, deciding that he is going to make this man's pay. But that is where I will be having to leave it off. I hope you liked the video. I hope you will watch other videos of mine, and there will be more videos coming out this week, possibly 3. I'm hoping 3, maybe. But for the rest of the time I will be explaining a few more things. Ruffy and Luffy trained with their devil fruits for so long that they have basically made many moves, and they basically are going to work together the best that they can to become the Pirate Kings. I'm basically repeating myself from the beginning. The last thing I need to say is that Rufy basically is very smart and uses his smarts in certain situations that I have not put those smarts to the test yet. So, without further ado, let's get out of here. See you guys.